Chapter 448, The Nightmare of the Fright Night. It starts in the ghost zone. Brittany is flying around the ghost zone looking for something or someone. Brittany, wow. This place goes on forever. It's like the dead have homes everywhere. She flew off into the distance. In the estate we are sitting in the living room and watching TV, reading books, playing card and board games and texting on the phone. Danny, hey, what is Brittany doing in the ghost zone? Jared, she said something about wanting to find her own weapon for herself. Lincoln, yeah. It's because she doesn't have one other than magic. Danny, that's understandable. Back in the ghost zone, Brittany came across an evil-looking castle. The castle looked like the very castle of the devil himself. Brittany, now that is a true castle from hell. She went in the castle through the tower window and she went up the stairs and it was a lot of steps. Brittany, wow. This is a tall staircase. Suddenly a bunch of razor-sharp pendulum axes swung and she dodged them as she climbed the stairs and she got to the door. She went in the door and she saw a bunch of skeletons and they were on the sides of the wall. Brittany, uh-oh. I know this trap. She ran and got to the door before it became a spiked crusher wall. Brittany, that was a close one. She looked on and saw a green sword sticking into a purple pumpkin. Brittany, there it is. The Soul Shredder sword. With this I can have my own sword. She walked up to the sword and pulled it out like Excalibur. Brittany, yeah. The skeletons came to life and Brittany saw them. Brittany, oh no you don't. She kicked them and destroyed them in an instant. Brittany, that was too easy. Then she saw the pumpkin explode. Out of the smoke arose the Fright Night. Brittany, the Fright Night. Fright Night, free. You there. Give me back my sword. Brittany, I've read a lot about you. You are the spirit of Halloween and that's not for another month. Fright Night, that's right. Now give me my sword. Brittany, sorry but I found it and it's my sword now. Fright Night, that wasn't a request. It was a demand, whelp. Brittany, well you're in no position to give me orders. She sheathed the sword in her left hip and went at the Fright Night and punched him in the face and sent him crashing into the wall. She also reformed the purple pumpkin and left. The Fright Night got up and he saw that Brittany was gone. In Lisa's lab Brittany came out of the portal of the ghost zone. Brittany, that was a close one. Unsheaths the Soul Shredder. I've read a lot about the Soul Shredder and if what I read about it is true then not only will I become the Empress of Darkness but also the Princess of Fear. I will make evil fear me. Brittany walks down to the living room. Brittany, hey guys I'm back. Lori, hey Brittany. Did you find what you were looking for? Brittany, I sure did Lori. Check it out. She revealed the Soul Shredder. Sam M, you got the sword of the Fright Night? Brittany, yep. I figured it would serve me like it does for the Fright Night. Danny, Brittany that is awesome. But you're in a lot of trouble with the Fright Night. Brittany, I know. That's why I'm gonna show him that I'm the Empress of Darkness and the Princess of Fear. Me, nice title but you are already known as the Empress of Darkness and an Empress is more powerful than a princess. Brittany, that's true Dad. I'll think of a secondary title later. Right now the Fright Night is coming and we have to be ready for him. Tucker, we sure do. He'll come for his sword. Danny, we can't let him get it no matter what. Brittany, I know. Len, you want to see me practice with this sword? Len, oh you know it Brits. Sorry it's a nickname for you. Brittany, no it's alright Len. I like it. In the training yard, Len set up earth training dummies and they looked like all the enemies we faced and killed and they were scattered all over the field. Len, all set Brittany. Brittany, okay. Here I come. She dashed towards the dummies and unsheathed the Soul Shredder and slashed them at a powerful level. She then stood in front of another earth dummy and swung the blade and it fired a barrage of fire bats made of pure black fire and they hit the dummy and exploded with the power of 2 pounds of C4 explosives. Craboom. The dirt and rocks rained down. Brittany, wow. What power. Lynn, that was awesome Brits. Brittany, thanks Lynn. In the house we saw Brittany practice with the soul shredder and she was doing well. Me, wow. Brittany sure is learning how to adapt to using the sword really quickly. Allie, she's a really fast learner Dad. She lost her sword in the time we came from before we came here. Me, wow. Lincoln, that's awful but Brittany has a weapon again. Lucy, I've read a lot of stories about the Fright Knight and the Soul Shredder. Legend says that if you get cut by the sword it brings your worst fears to life. Lainey, that is a deadly sword. Lisa, ACH pish posh. A sword cannot do that in terms of superstition. Me, actually Lisa it can. We've only seen the tip of the iceberg of what the Soul Shredder is capable of. Later at night we were resting by the TV watching the dreamboat when the alarm went off. Me, uh-oh. The computer popped up and it showed the ghost zone and a bunch of ghosts were heading towards our portal. Me, it's the Fright Knight and his soldiers. They're coming. Battle stations people. I sound the alarm and we got ready. We stood ready outside and out of the mansion arose hundreds of ghosts. It was the Fright Knight and his soldiers. Me, the Fright Knight. Fright Knight, the famous JD. Knudsen and Danny Phantom. How nice that you would be the one that would challenge me. Me, nice to know that we've made an impression. Ricky, hey, Fright Knight. Don't you know that Halloween's still only a month away? Fright Knight, of course I do. But you fools won't live long enough to see it. Lincoln, come and try it. We're going ghost. Lincoln, Danny, and Danny went phantom. Fright Knight, let's see you handle this. Fright Knight fired a beam of dark energy and what we saw was a shocker. We saw that the Fright Knight brought Scarecrow back to life. Me, Scarecrow. But that's impossible. We killed him. Fright Knight, yes you did kill him but this is a clone of him. I have the power to bring villains that instill fear into their enemies back to life. Brittany, then let's dance. Brittany unsheathed the Soul Shredder and she slashed him and sent him into another dimension and he was surrounded by a colony of bats with glowing red eyes and they screeched horribly. The Scarecrow clone was terrified beyond all known recognition. Brittany then suddenly got a sudden and massive increase in power from the sword. Brittany, whoa. What a rush. It's like Scarecrow's fear has made me far more powerful than ever. Fright Knight, if you all thought Scarecrow was scary, you haven't seen anything yet. Fright Knight called 2 more clones and they were of Lena Clamor and Tantrum. Me, Lena Clamor. Maria, Tantrum. Ed, I got this one. Ed became Edzilla and he pulverized the Lena clone into oblivion and killed her. Then he went after the Tantrum clone. Edzilla, Ed smash Purple Hulk. Tantrum, no. Tantrum smash Grey Lizard. They went at each other and engaged in a savage, brutal, and ferocious fight. Ed punched Tantrum in the mouth and punched him in the face and kicked him in the stomach. Pow. Smash. BLAM. KROW. Wham. Ed kicked and bashed him in the stomach and the mouth and knocked out some of his teeth and he bit him in the arm and Tantrum screamed in pain as Edzilla bit his arm clean off. Maria, oh man. That's got to hurt. Hulk, water girl not kidding. Ed punched him where the sun doesn't shine and he screamed like a little girl. Wham. Crunch. We winced. Me, boo. That's not gonna feel good in the morning. Lincoln, IEE. Lynn, that must have really hurt. Me, it sure did. Edzilla pulverized the Tantrum clone until he was dead. Nicole sealed their spirits into the Book of Vile Darkness. Fright Knight, I've not yet begun to fight. He formed another clone and it was Nico's worst fear, Slappy the dummy from the Goosebumps books. Me, that's Slappy from the Goosebumps books. Nico saw him and he crouched down to the ground in fear and was sitting on the ground in a fetal position. Me, Nico what's wrong? Vince, he's in a state of fear. Nico, slaw slaw slaw. He started having memory flashbacks from when he was a little kid. He watched the Goosebumps movies for Night of the Living Dummy and he was scared to death of him instantly. Nico, shivering in fear. Me, Nico, you have to snap out of it. Nico pointed at Slappy and we put the pieces of the puzzle together. Me, so that's it. He saw Night of the Living Dummy back when he was a child and it traumatized him. Vince, I would be traumatized too if I saw that. Nico, you have to snap out of it. That dummy was not real in those movies. It was just a puppet. Me, that's right. Like Luan's dummy Mr. Coconuts and the Scarface puppet. They are not real. Luan, as Mr. Coconuts, hey. I resent that. Normal voice, shut up Mr. Coconuts. Now's not the time for it. As Mr. Coconuts, sorry. Me, Nico, you are stronger than any dummy. You have the power to conquer your fear of the dummy Slappy. The movie Saw is not real and neither is that overgrown toothpick. Something within Nico stirred within him when I said that and he knew that I was right. Nico, you are right. Thanks JD. Me, anytime man. Now go show that overgrown tree stump that you mean business. All is going to be well. Nico, I will. Nico walked up to Slappy and went Super Saiyan. Slappy, you will never win against me. I will destroy all your friends and make them my puppets. But then something snapped within Nico. Me, what they? Nico, in his head, I won't let him torment me anymore. Out loud. The ground exploded and a huge cloud of dust exploded out and the ground was shaking extremely violently and rocks and pebbles were lifting off the ground as he was screaming like a madman. Me, his power is unreal. Lincoln, unbelievable. Gaku, whoa. What incredible power. Piccolo, Nico is releasing his energy. Laney, holy mackerel. Krillin, what power. Gohan's anger theme plays. Nico's power was rising fast at an accelerated rate and lightning was flickering around him. Nico, you won't torment me ever again. Slappy was getting terrified of him now. Nico, I won't let you do this to me anymore. Nico's hair turned more spiked and his muscles grew bigger and he released the full extent of his power and a massive shockwave of energy blew across the area. Luckily our house was still standing. When the dust and smoke cleared we saw Nico forever changed. He was now a Super Saiyan too. He had a more jagged yellow aura, bigger muscle mass, and lightning was flickering around him and the level of power he had was absolutely incredible. Me, whoa. Nico, you've become a Super Saiyan too. Unbelievable. Vegeta, unreal. What power. Laney, this is unbelievable. Gaku, his power is incredible. Gohan, what enormous power. Me, Slappy is in a helluva lot of trouble now. Vince, it was the fear and torment Slappy put him through that did it. Me, yep. So start praying Slappy. Nico, Slappy, you will pay for putting me through all the pain and suffering I had to endure because of you. I will never forgive you for everything you've done to me. He walked up to Slappy and he went at him and Slappy kicked him. But he only kicked an afterimage. Slappy saw him up in the sky and went at him and try as he might he couldn't land a single blow on Nico and then Nico returned fire with an iron fist and punched him in the stomach so hard that his fist went all the way through him and out through his back. Squeal-a-let-a. Nico, you go to hell and stay there you rotten piece of wood. He pulled his fist out and fired a blast of energy at him and vaporized Slappy completely. Me, whoa. He did it. Nicole sealed him into the book of vile darkness. Nico then set his sights onto the Fright Knight. Me, he's going after the Fright Knight. Fright Knight, I'm not done yet. He created more clones and they were of Richard Fenton in the 110-foot giant squid. Me, Richard Fenton. Lana, the giant squid of Graves Point. Aqua, let us handle these two. Thor, let's do that combo. Thor, right. Aqua and Thor, Arctic Thunder Hammer Strike. They fired a blast of ice enveloped in lightning and it became a giant ice hammer covered in lightning and it hit them and vaporized the giant squid and Fenton. Nicole sealed them into the Book of Vile Darkness. Fright Night, I have one last trick up my sleeve. He created a clone of the mermaid we killed in Italy. Me, the mermaid from the dark side. I got this. Cleo, Ricky, Bella, Emma, let's get her. Cleo, let's. They fired huge blasts of water and it obliterated the dark mermaid in a huge explosion of water. Curse splash. Me, nice shot. Brittany, now it's just you and me. Fright Night. He got off his nightmare and stood ready. Fright Night, yes Brittany. Now we end this. Brittany went Super Angel 10,000 and she punched the Fright Night in the chest and kicked him in the face and punched him in the back and kicked him in the solar plexus. Blang. Clang. BLAM. Wham. Brittany, you've terrorized the land and the ghost zone for far too long. It's time to end it. Brittany fired a blast of energy and blew him apart and Nicole sealed him into the Book of Vile Darkness. Nicole, never again Fright Night. We cheered wildly. Nico, that was an intense fight. Me, it sure was. And you conquered your fear of Slappy the living dummy. Nico, I owe it all to you JD. Thank you for helping me. Me, anytime buddy. Vince, you were awesome though man. May, oh Nico. May and Nico hugged and kissed. Everyone, aimed. Then some Pokemon appeared. It was a Jengar, Haunter, Ghastly and a Mismagius. May, a Haunter, Jengar, Ghastly and Mismagius. Nico, I've always wanted to have some ghost Pokemon. Jengar, Haunter, would you like to join us? They agreed. He pulled out 2 Pokeballs and caught them. Ash, I need some ghost Pokemon. He pulled out 2 Pokeballs and caught them. Me, way to go guys. Ash, thanks JD. Serena, you have a lot of Pokemon now. Ash, we sure do Serena. Me, let's go get ready for bed guys. Everyone agreed. Brittany now owns the Soul Shredder. Nico conquered his fear of Slappy from Goosebumps. Ash and Nico have some ghost Pokemon and the Fright Night was gone forever. The end. Another fanfiction complete. The Fright Night is the most awesome villain in the Danny Phantom universe and is the king of terror. Michael Dorn did a great job voicing him. He did all kinds of voice actings over the years and his most famous role in film or TV was Worf from Star Trek. He voiced I Am Weasel in I Am Weasel, Martian Robot Commander in Duck Dodgers, Callback in Justice League, Krull the Eternal in Batman the Brave and the Bold, Lord Darkar in Winx Club, Gork in Adventure Time, and more. Nico-chan 11 gave me the ideas for this one. Thanks for that man as usual. Next up is Johnny 13 and I hope you're not superstitious cause this one is very misfortunate. Let me know what you all think. See you all next time.